nation is always celebrated at the birth of speed, a place that needs little introduction. What started out on the beaches of Daytona has become a rich history of men and their machines.
There's no place else I'd rather build my life.
Tonight, the stars will shine while the young guns yearn to cement their name at the place where it all began. It's about speed. It's about skill. But most of all, it's about avoiding the big one. For the true racing fan, Daytona has become an American way of life. Celebrate family, fun, and the need for speed. The 4th of July at Daytona.
T-minus 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ignition.
ESPN welcomes you to NASCAR Countdown. Getting ready for some fireworks, the on-track kind, as the NASCAR Nationwide Series runs 250 miles at the massive Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. You know, when they opened the gates here for the first time in 1959, drivers and fans had never seen anything like it. It's a big place, and the great racing it's turned out over the years has made it a big scene. Winning a Daytona trophy is such a big deal that despite the steamy summer weather, 15 Cup drivers are going to race tonight as well as tomorrow. A big effort that tells you just how big Daytona is.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome the Subway guy, Jared Fogle.
All right, everybody, the stands here in Daytona, I need your help. Gentlemen, start your engines!
Crank it up. I'm good. I actually was testing my radio. You can fire it up when you want. I'm trying to, one of my radios is not working.
I guess I'll leave it on.
Yeah, 4-0, there you go.
Hey, Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett with ESPN. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Junior, our first question comes from our ESPN mailbag, and Susan from Newton, Connecticut would like to know, how will the double file restarts affect your strategy in this race?
Well, I mean, you can't really have any strategy. You just got to go. You can't, you want to lead. Maybe lead is the best place to be. I think on a restart, the first guy on the inside has probably the best position, although the outside's not too bad. The further back you go on the inside line, I think the more challenging it gets. You're just boxing yourself in there. As we've seen since we've had the double file restarts in the COT, the outside line's been the best to make positions on restarts.
All right, man, my question for you is this. You've got 12 wins at Daytona in NASCAR competition, so who better to ask than, if we could put you in the perfect position on the last lap, and I know you've got a whole race to run to get there, what position do you want to be in and why?
Well, whatever position you're in, I think leading, second, third, it can be won from basically anywhere. We've seen that, especially here lately. You just got to have help. You know, you got to have people willing to help you, that'll give you the right help at the right time. And if they're not willing to help you, you're going to have a hard time winning a race.
All right, Junior, thanks for talking with us. Have a great race. Now, Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Brian Campy. Hey, Brian, Andy Petrie in the booth. You have us?
10-4, Andy, I got you.
Hey, Brian, I know you've been monitoring the tire wear closely, and we've seen a couple of issues over in the Cup garage with the tires, and we had a little rain out here on the racetrack since qualifying. What do you expect out of the tires tonight?
I think on our first stop we'll see a little bit what we saw in the first practice, a little bit of issue, but it'll go away once we get all these 43 cars around here and get some rubber down. We'll be okay.
And now with these rules that NASCAR's put in place, how do you actually adjust your car to get the balance right? They tell you what springs, shocks, and everything else to run. How do you change it?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I may ask you up in the booth for a little bit of help, but yeah, the front spring rule, the rear spring rule, the rear shock rule, the restrictor plate, it makes the box really small, but the guys at the shop work it real hard, working it within the rules and making the car fast.
Okay, Brian, you guys have good luck and appreciate you talking to us tonight.
You too, Andy. Thank you.
Well, the double foul restart is not the only first here tonight, because reigning series champion Clint Boyer picked up his first pole of the season, and maybe more importantly to him, his very first ever pole here at Daytona. And oh, by the way, he has never won a restrictor plate race in Nationwide or Sprint Cup competition. Maybe that will change here tonight. Take a look at our starting field. A few surprises in qualifying. David Gilliland qualified Evander Holyfield's Dodge fifth, and 67-year-old Morgan Shepherd. How about that? Morgan Shepherd, a 15-time winner, qualified in the 10th spot. We'll have onboard cameras in 9 different cars tonight, including the Daytona 500 winner, Matt Kenseth, who starts back in 6th position. And Carl Edwards, who finished 2nd here back in February, starts 11th. And by the way, Carl also has not won on a restrictor plate racetrack. Our race analysis, it is a 100-lap, 250-mile race here tonight on the high banks of Daytona. And you see the pit road speed 55, pace car will run 70. And Andy, on a tank of Sunoco, you can almost go halfway.
Well, you can, and it's 45 to 50 is what we have for a window. This first run, you won't see them go quite that far, because they've run a qualifying run, and you know, just these pace laps right here. You see them making these pace laps. Those laps don't count, so but they do count when you start pulling fuel out of that tank.
Here's the 6th car, David Reagan, last time on a Speedway. Remember, he won at Talladega.
Like I told you guys in the meeting, you're over the wall, guys. Nice and smooth tonight. I'm very appreciative for every one of you and what you do for me. You got to get it in the hole, nice and smooth. Stay off those fenders. We'll take care of it from here. David, just let us know what we need for updates on keeping the car rolling good. And Toby, it's your night to shine, man. Do us good up there, okay, bud?
Folks, they are lined up 2 by 2 for the start, and every time we restart tonight, they will look just like this. All the leaders side by side up front for a double foul restart shootout style. And Dale, we're just sitting here talking a little bit ago, how much would Dale Earnhardt Sr. have loved this procedure?
Oh, he'd have loved it. He'd have liked to have been back there about 3rd, 4th, 5th. Andy, you know how he was whenever you were working for him. He'd have loved this. This would have been right up his alley. He'd just been excited. He loved racing here, but this would add a little more excitement.
I loved it when we could put him right in the middle of the pack, because he would always come squirting out the head of it. So, yeah, he would love these kind of restarts.